Hi everyone. So this is the time for us to quickly revise some crucial amendments applicable for the July 21 exams. Just spare 20 minutes of your total time today before the exam. I mean the law examination paper number 4. We will be covering all the amendments that are applicable and reserved just for July 21 examinations. Okay. So how to plan this 1.5 day session with regard to the law will be discussed at the end of this particular lecture, but 99% of this lecture will be totally discussing about certain crucial amendments which we need to cover for the examination we are going to attempt just 1.5 day after. Okay, so there are some crucial amendments but not so complicated. So some amendments have come applicable exclusively for the July 21 exams. Spare 20 minutes, as I already said, of your time in covering these particular amendments. Maybe lesser time also may take. Okay, let's cover the amendments very quickly. Just keep your phone, view the video and keep it aside. Amendments will be covered first. Okay, you need not again bother about what amendments have come. See here. First, Companies Act only one amendment has come, very simple amendment. Okay, 13 months replacement has been made in independent directors concept. So I am going to cover all the crucial amendments in the economic laws and securities laws, because quite only one amendment came in Companies Act, that too very small. So see here, Foreign Contribution Regulation Act. This act has got tremendous amendments inside for the July 21 exams. What are the amendments? Let's have a look. The charge book which I released for the economic laws already do not cover these amendments. So we need to make amendments in that particular respect very quickly. Okay, small amendments only, not so big and not so complicated. Some are totally deletion, so therefore no complexity involved. Just listen to whatever is discussed in this handwritten material. Prohibition to accept foreign contribution is the point number 1. What is this section all about? This is section number 3 in your act. In this section, there are list of prohibitions that are given. Sir, who are prohibited? Many persons are prohibited. Technically to tell, we can divide it into politics like that. There he will tell member who is participating in any legislature, or who is already a member of any parliament or any state legislature, candidates standing for election, judges, media related persons, either print media or electronic media. There, third point, what he will tell, I mean clause number C, what he will tell, judge, government servants, or a person who is involved in any corporation owned or controlled by the government, like that he will tell. There one point was added, that is public servant. That means public servant as defined in Indian Penal Code is also covered by this particular section. Therefore, he is also prohibited to accept foreign contribution. Okay, point number 1. Okay, public servant is also added to the prohibition. Next issue, the term corporation. Sir, in that corporation word will be there. Corporation owned or controlled. What do you mean by a corporation? Corporation includes any corporation owned or controlled by government. Along with that, government company under Companies Act is also added now. So any employee of a government company is also prohibited. So government company, public servant. So try to understand clearly. There are 2 important amendments in this section. Public servant added into prohibition. Corporation not only includes any PSU, it also includes a government company under the Companies Act. Okay, amendment number 1 completed. Come to amendment number 2. Okay, prohibition to transfer FC to another person. Section number 7. Listen to my point what I say. Previously section 7 says that whenever you want to transfer foreign contribution you receive to another person, you must be a registered person, another person must also be a registered person. You can transfer to him any foreign contribution you receive, provided he should also get registered. That means either he has a certificate of registration or a prior permission. You need to file form FC4, FC5, like that. So many complications are there. If a registered person want to transfer to some unregistered person, magistrate permission, district magistrate, all these headache used to be there once upon a time prior to the amendment. Now this section was deleted totally. Okay, deleted, a new thing inserted. Old section 7 is deleted. Transfer of foreign contribution to other person is permitted with restrictions previously. Now what is the new amendment? Strictly prohibited with effect from 29/9/2020. That you need to remember properly, because in examinations he may ask a question in such a way that, okay, he may quote a date called as 29/9/2020 prior to this he will tell in the exam. You must be very, very clear enough to have a clarity that prior to 29/9/2020 if the transaction happens, this would apply. 29/9/2020 and after, this prohibition will apply. So that you need to keep in the mind. That means transfer 29/9/2020 if you take, transfer is permitted with restrictions. Here it is prohibited totally. Okay, so that's the point you need to remember. Next, so amendment number 2. Amendment number 3, restriction to utilize foreign contribution for administrative purpose. Sir, what is this section? Okay, I will explain simply in one go. After that we will be going into the amendment part. See here, prior to the amendment, what is the scenario? The scenario is like this. Prior to the amendment I am speaking about. Okay, how scenario used to be prior to this amendment made. For example, you started an orphanage in your town. For this you are going to receive foreign contribution. You can receive it. For the purpose of orphans you need to use a substantial amount. Okay, that's a point number 1. Okay, that means for the orphanage I received 2 crore rupee big contribution from Gates Foundation, USA. Bill Gates has a foundation. From the Gates Foundation we received 2 crore. US dollars came, converted, become 2 crores. Fantastic amount came. We can do lot of development to the orphanage. Okay, what they have done, instead of giving more development in education etc. to the orphanage, they said that we are constructing a garden. For that a gardener was appointed. For that we are paying some salary. We are having almost 100 staff members. For them we are paying charges. Like this, please don't do. These are called as administration and maintenance expenses. These should not dominate the very purpose of the orphanage. Your purpose of raising this 2 crore rupee is to serve the orphans. Substantial portion of that amount should go for that purpose. Therefore, prior to amendment, what they said, administrative expenses cannot go beyond 50% of the total FC received. That means 50% used for the main purpose, 50% for administrative expenses you can use. But they are misusing totally. Therefore, what the law has done, it made this 50 to 20% now. Okay, prior amendment, from foreign source you received foreign contribution, utilize for the purpose for which it is received. Utilize for the purpose means two things: utilize towards a main purpose or objective, utilizing for the payment of administrative expenses. Prior to this, not more than 50% of the SC received in a financial year. Now everything is same, that 50% was now changed to 20%. So this is the amendment that was brought out in section number 8. Next, section number 11, registration of certain persons with the central government. So what this section talking about? Some good amendment has come in this section. Let us have a look on what is the nature of this amendment that is being made. Okay, see, this is amendment number 4 in the same area. Registration of certain persons with the central government, section number 11. So what is the idea of the amendment? Let me first tell you. Prior to the amendment, if you obtain certificate of registration which is having a validity period of 5 years, during that 5 years period, if you have done some contravention, 5 grounds are given. On the grounds it will be cancelled. Before cancellation, they conduct an inquiry whether really you have done those contraventions or not. During the time period of inquiry, suspension will happen. This is what already there for certificate of registration. But who obtained prior permission, till that purpose is completed, prior permission will be valid. During that period, if they commit contravention, what happens to the FC they accepted? punishment, everything will get happened, okay. But what happens to the FC received? No section is speaking about that. Therefore, a new insertion was made. If a person who has obtained a prior permission, okay, on the basis of information from some government authority or a report, and after holding a summary inquiry means a basic inquiry, not going very deep into that, prima facie itself, central government has a reason to believe that any person granted with PP has contravened any provisions of this act. If any person who has been granted with prior permission has contravened the provisions of this act, it may direct that person shall not utilize or receive any FC without prior approval of central government. 90% chance is there this can come in the exams, okay. But I will tell you what this actually mean. A person obtained a prior permission, okay. The person who obtained prior permission has also accepted foreign contribution from a foreign source, but he is committing some contravention, maybe utilizing for some purpose which is not the purpose for which it is intended to utilize. Who came to know about that? CG came to know on the basis of a summary inquiry, okay. Contravened provisions. Now you already accepted that, I can't stop you from accepting, already you accepted, you cannot utilize. Or for example, I given prior permission to receive 1 crore rupee, that means it will be received in dollar. If I convert it is 1 crore. Till now I received 60 lakhs, another 40 lakhs to come in another 1 week. That means central government will put a bar on him, that means it will put a a hurdle on him, saying that you can't utilize existing foreign contribution accepted, or you can't receive any further foreign contribution till you obtain a prior permission, prior approval. Prior permission is different, prior approval is different. Prior approval will come when you are under suspension and when you are under inquiry period. Simply to tell, restriction to utilize, restriction to accept new FC shall apply during the pendency of that inquiry. That means summary inquiry conducted, on that basis we came to know that contravention is committed, but we need to know very deep into the analysis. Therefore, during that time I will conduct original inquiry, not just summary. During that inquiry period, you cannot utilize FC accepted, you cannot accept new FC without prior approval of central government, okay. Any FC means what? Remaining unreceived portion or even a new foreign contribution, both you cannot receive during that particular inquiry period, not during summary. Summary inquiry gave me an opinion that you contravened, but I will conduct original inquiry. Inquiry means calling the persons to the office, technically to do some interrogation type, but a civil procedure will be followed. Out of that, if we come to know that really you had an action will be taken. During that inquiry period, if you want to utilize or receive any FC without prior approval of CG, you can't, okay. That's what amendment want to say. That means here the important one is this one. Restriction shall apply during pendency. Sir, after pendency of inquiry, after inquiry completed, common sense, two things can happen. You contravene, you didn't contravene. If you didn't contravene, well and good. If you contravene, prior permission will be cancelled, that FC will be transferred to the banking authorities as provided in section number 18. Okay, section 16, 17, 18 banking authority concepts will come, like that it will be done. Next, opening of FCRA account while making application, section 12 1A. In section 12, 1A was added recently, saying that previously what they used to tell, whenever you want to receive a foreign contribution, receive that foreign contribution into a scheduled bank, a separate bank account. Okay, name need not be kept for that, but now government changed the rules saying that that account will be called as a FCRA account. Called as what, sir? FCRA account. See here, every person who makes application for COR or who makes application for PP, I repeat, who makes application for COR, who makes application for PP, okay, form 3A, form 3B forms will be there na, when you are applying for that, shall first open an account. Shall first what they have to do? Open an account. Called as what account? FCRA account. In the banks you have to open, which bank we will discuss about that much later. you have to open FCRA account. Name it as FCRA account. Tell the banker that you are going to receive FC. He will only name that as FCRA account. And mention the details of such account in the application, such that when you apply to the CG will counter check with the bank whether this account has already been opened or not. If your application is rejected, that account will be cancelled. If it is accepted, that account will be activated by the bank. But you have to remember, this is applicable for both COR as well as PP. You open an account called as FCRA account, and that account details has to be set along with the form number 3 or 3B, whatever you fill. Next. This is a new concept again. Power of CG to require Aadhaar number, etc. Section 12, a new section added. Any person who seeks for COR or PP or renewal of COR, if he is an Indian, give Aadhaar number. Aadhaar number of whom? If you are a company, directors details, their Aadhaar. If you are a trust, etc., office bearers and key persons, those are called as a key functionary. Who is the key person in your trust or society? Those details. Office bearers means persons who work inside. Administrative persons. Key function is main persons of that particular trust or society or a Section 8 company. Next one, directors of a company. Their Aadhaar numbers you need to submit along with the form 3A. Here PP, form 3B, renewal also will be made. Again, renewal application also you need to submit the Aadhaar details if that person is an Indian. If the person who is managing an Indian trust happens to be a foreigner, then passport or overseas citizen of India card. Any of these two things you need to give. Okay. Next. Surrender of certificate. Section number 14A. Mark this important. Question may come from this area. Listen. A person is there. Made application to the central government. Made application to whom? Central government. Okay. Now, central government will now conduct an inquiry first. You want to surrender. That means a person made an application to central government to surrender. Okay, that's surrender, not surrender. See here, a person made an application to surrender the certificate of registration what he has already obtained to the central government. Okay. Why? What could be the reason? Maybe the purpose for which he has obtained is no more in existence. Voluntarily he want to give back. Sometimes some fraudsters may also do this. Therefore, government will first conduct an inquiry. Inquiry will be conducted in order to know about genuineness. How much you are genuine? I want to know that. In order to know that, to know the genuineness of the particular surrender, whether he is a fraudster giving back or he is a real person who is intended to just give back, I want to conduct an inquiry. Satisfied that there is no contravention, and after that, you are surrendering the certificate of registration. Okay, once you surrender the certificate of registration, what will happen? You are not in the control of central government. Some persons will accept foreign contribution, hundreds of crores FC will come. After that, they will tell that I can't do this foreign contribution work, I am surrendering my certificate. If you surrender the certificate, FCRA account, whatever you opened will be cancelled. That means government control will be missing on you. Therefore, they said that you acquired FC, na? Or you acquired assets out of this FC, all those things will first go to the banking authority. Authority under section 15 is a banking authority. To that banking authority, central government will first transfer all these FC. After that, it shall permit surrender. That means keeping 100 crores with you, after that you said surrender and then use that 100 crores for your personal purpose is not permitted. A person made an application for surrender of certificate of registration to the central government. Yes, you can surrender. Conducting the inquiry, CG will conduct an inquiry. On inquiry, there should not be a contravention. After that, if any FC is already there with you, okay, previously which you have accepted, that FC will be first transferred to the central government. Central government will give to any of the banks. They will manage that fund. So, how that will be made? It will be discussed in section number 15. Okay, next. FC through scheduled bank. This is also an expected question for the exam, but bits may come here. Okay, maybe direct question may not come. MCQ type of very, very important area. Okay, FC through a scheduled bank. Sir, what is this FC through a scheduled bank? Previously, what they said, you should receive FC through a scheduled bank. Which scheduled? Any scheduled bank in India. But now totally changed. SBI became the apex bank with regard to FCRA. What they said, let us understand. And not your Hyderabad, Vijayawada branch. It will be Delhi branch. See here. Foreign source, from a foreign source, a person want to receive a foreign contribution. That person has COR or PP already with him. Okay, he should receive only in an account which is FCRA account. Already we discussed about this very clearly. You have to open FCRA account along with your application form. You need to submit that FCRA account. To whom with whom it should be opened? It should be opened with State Bank of India at New Delhi. Not with any person you want. It should be opened only with the State Bank of India at New Delhi. Okay, opened the account. Next. Once you open a main account in FCRA account with SBI New Delhi, after that you can open another FCRA account. Okay, that means main core account, master account will be opened with SBI New Delhi. After that, sir, I am having a cultural program. That means I am having a cultural activity. Education purpose, I opened a society. Cultural dance recital, Bharatanatyam, Kuchipudi, these kind of traditional dances are there. For that I opened a society. Medical, I opened a society. Charitable trust. Okay, I am a person who is having many social services being done. 8-9 societies are there in my name. But only one FCRA account you can open in your name. From that FCRA account, transfer to various another FCRA account in any scheduled bank for keeping and utilizing them. Receipt will be through one account. After receiving from that FCRA account, you can transfer it to various FCRA accounts for keeping and utilizing them. Okay, FC received from FCRA account. FCRA account, first from the foreign source, FCRA account will receive. That FCRA account will be directly in the New Delhi, and that will be SBI, and that will be in the control of the central government directly. Ministry of Home Affairs will look into that. That means origin stage la no virus can enter into India. Okay, intrusion of a virus into India is impossible. I am talking about financial virus here. So no virus can intrude into India at the origin. Once India it can't enter, after coming to India, anyway our banks will be looking into that. Therefore, once you receive in one FCRA account in SBI in New Delhi, after that you can pass to any number of accounts for utilizing them and keeping them. Again, name should be FCRA only, even for them. Did you get the point? We transfer. Sir, from there can we rebranch again? From there, you need not even name FCRA account. Such person may open one or more accounts in one or more scheduled banks of his choice to utilize the FC. Okay, that means main master FC, below FC accounts, sub FC accounts you can open. From that again you can retransfer to many bank accounts in utilizing. Why many accounts? I am having operations in Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka. One branch bank, it may not be always administratively easy for me. For accessibility, I am opening branch in Karnataka, bank account. I am opening in Kerala. In Kerala, 6-7 places I opened again. Like that you can open any number of accounts in scheduled banks of your choice. Here choice is given. It may be SBI, it may be Andhra, whatever you want. Open with any of the scheduled bank to utilize the foreign contribution. Very, very important amendment. First receipt, one FCRA account, scheduled bank being SBI at New Delhi. After from them, for keeping and utilizing, you can keep in one account. For utilizing purpose, you can rebranch it to any scheduled bank of your choice and you can transfer. This one, you need not name as FCRA. First 2 stages la FCRA name will come. Third stage, you need not even name FCRA. You can open account, transfer the money, that's all. But these will be under the control of the government, therefore not an issue. So these are all the amendments that were brought out in FCRA. Small amendments came in SEBI. Let's have a look. See here. New section 28C has been inserted. Powers of SEBI shall not apply to IFSC companies of cess. Okay, that means SEBI cannot exercise its powers on some companies which are IFSC companies, since they are governed by IFSC Authority established under section 4.1 of IFSC Authority Act 2019. Small amendment. IFSC companies opened in cess, for them this is not applicable. SCRA also same. SCRA also cannot exercise its powers to IFSC company, though they are listed, they can't operate on that. SEBI LODR regulations also one small amendment came, regulation number 17. What this regulation says, prior to amendment, let me check. with effect from 1st April 2020, all top 500 listed entities shall ensure that chairperson of the board of such listed entity shall be a non-executive director and not a relative to MD or CEO. With effect from which date? April 1st, 2020, you need to check this. But that was now extended by 2 years because of COVID and all the other issues. Economy is totally on a downside trend. Top 500 listed companies are also not performing well. Therefore, they thought that let us extend it by another 2 years. So, post amendment, April 1st, 2022, till that time, extension was given for all the top 500 listed companies on the day to extend it by 2 years. So, this is the amendments that were brought out in the economic laws and securities laws. These are some important concepts that we need to make an observation on. And study pattern only recommended. If you have your own study pattern, please follow that. But if you are confused to start with which chapter and to end with which one, so let me first give you a guideline only. Okay, you may follow, you may not follow. Just for the guideline purposes, I am giving you. When you are following a study pattern, follow this. It may give you a good result and good amount of confidence when you are going for exams. Okay, I am writing some hit list chapters, very, very important for the exams. First, cover these. Oppression and mismanagement, mainly the case laws. Take our charts material, you have the case laws as well. Even if you don't have a chart material, in every faculty's material, case laws will be there. You can happily follow that and read it. Next, after that, once after the completion, inspection and investigation. Okay, in this mainly target SFIO, okay, SFIO, section 220 and above, 220, 221, 222, these sections will be there, and mostly concentrate on 226. This section looks like winding up section, but not winding up. It's that section says that though winding up proceedings start, investigation will not stop. Investigation and winding up can run parallelly. Same with oppression. So mainly 226 remaining also are important. Sir, I am not telling you to leave remaining. Everything is important. Okay, some hit list sections in this chapter are section 213, section 224, 226, 212 SFIO, 217 la Indian court to foreign court and vice versa points will be there. Please read those. Have a look. In the charts material also it was there, or you, if you are following some other book also, happily you can follow that, it will be there. After this, please go on to the concept regarding, once these are completed, SEBI. Okay, SEBI Act. In SEBI Act, mainly concentrate on penalty provisions. After that, penalty provisions are completed. Next, come to section number 13 and above. Section number 13, 14, 15, 16, all these provisions will be there. Section 13 and after, these sections are important. Technically here, you will be having some concepts like collective investment scheme, okay, insider trading concept in manipulative trade practices, cease and desist practices. These concepts will be there. Concentrate more on those. Okay. Anyway, once after this, I will be telling you the pattern of SEBI as well. First, let us concentrate on this. Next, after this SEBI Act that is being completed, next one, please concentrate on compromises and arrangements. Entire chapter is golden chapter, very, very important for exam, very, very important, not just important, most important for the examinations. But still, if you ask me what is so important in this chapter, section number 233, please concentrate, 235, 238 and 232. These 4 sections are quite very important for the exams. Next after this, in exam we can't predict anyway, but these are difficult, don't leave. That's all. I'm not telling these will come. In examinations, whatever I have written may not come. But this is CA exams. But still these are dangerous areas which students generally don't do that. That's the only recommendation I am making. Next one, PMLA. In PMLA, definitions very, very important. Complete them. After that, complete the Aadhaar procedure. Already revision lecture was put in the YouTube channel. Aadhaar linking procedure was there. Please study that. Very, very important in PMLA. Section number 5, section number 8, 9. Most important, prepare and go. Definitely question may be there this time. Okay. After this 45, 72 sections also. Okay, special courts and 72, death and insolvency happens at the time, how the proceedings will be carried on. Next, after this come to the area called as directors set. Directors means I mean from 149 to section number 205. These areas will fetch you 30 marks in exams. In this hit list areas are independent directors. Independent directors la amendments came. Please look into that. Amendment, old amendments only, but important. Examination is there for independent directors. That one. So independent directors concept very important. After this, committees of the board. Committees of the board of directors, very, very important for the exam. 4 committees are there: auditor, nomination, stakeholders and vigilance. One question surely comes in exam. Next one, DIN concept. Okay, DIN concept is there, that you need to prepare well. And schedule 5, managing directors law. After this, I am writing hit list areas, dangerous areas, remaining you need to prepare. So sequence la, this sequence you need to follow. But when it comes to the dangerous areas, yes, 187 and 189 to register sections are there, very, very important for the exams. So 187, 189, very important. Okay, so those areas. After that, so the next area, exits of directors. In exits, disqualifications and removal are very important. Please have a look. Every exit you need to read, but these 2 dangerous, you need to read this. Exits, disqualification, vacation, resignation, removal. Okay. After this, everyone will tell loans to directors, inter-corporate loan, investment, related party transactions. 184, disclosure of interest is important. Don't leave this. In this subsection 2, subsection 5, very important. If possible, prepare the past exam questions as well. Just give a look on that. Okay. Next, okay, these are the hit list dangerous areas to prepare. First prepare these when you are preparing for directors, and then go to the rest of the concepts. If the charge material is there with you, the Companies Act, just like that you can complete off. It's not even a difficult target. So first complete these. If you can complete these, I am not putting any timing here because everyone have their own strategy to prepare. This pattern is only to tell you don't leave these areas while exams. During the exams, don't leave these areas. Prepare these correctly. Okay, I am not giving you a target. Oppression, mismanagement, 22 minutes, 33 seconds, overaction illa. Whatever time you take, please prepare this. I am telling you from here to here, don't leave. Don't leave this. Easy scoring area, but pakka questions will be there in the paper. So these areas. So concentrate on this and complete it. And all the very best for the examinations for the law. Thank you very much. Take note.